Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a deadly duo in love that loves reacting to some death battle.
It's time for a death battle!
Yeah! And so we're checking out Metal Sonic versus Zero. Sega versus Mega Man in this death battle. And someone had recommended the Death Battle Royale with Mega Man. And we're going to get to that. But then I saw this one. I don't know. And just like, we love the Sonic movies. And so wanted to give this one a try as well. So if you want all of our reactions to Death Battle, check out the description of this video for a playlist. There's also a link to Patreon. You can get early ad-free access to our reactions.
Yeah.
It is the duty of all who dedicate their lives to the science of robotics. Make the coolest, deadliest machine you possibly can.
Just don't make them too smart. That never works out for you.
Metal Sonic, Dr. Eggman's Hedgehog Destroyer.
Nice.
Zero, Dr. Wily's Maverick Hunter. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Dr. Eggman was a genius with a dream of a world ruled by his own iron fist. However, there was just one small problem, a speedy blue problem.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
The fastest thing alive. No matter how many times Eggman tried taking over the world, this freedom fighter just kept getting in his way.
But like any respectable scientist, Eggman was a problem solver. Thus, he developed the ultimate hedgehog killer, a machine which would not just equal his speedy nemesis, but surpass him.
And Dr. Tubby called his greatest creation Metal Sonic. He's even got a sweet chest speaker to blast Slayer all day long.
It's got like the Mega Man thing.
No, he's just made of metal.
Oh, that's cool too.
To contend with his cool blue rival, Metal Sonic was built to reach and maintain incredible speeds.
And unlike most of his wacky inventions, Eggman actually got this one perfect. Metal Sonic is hella fast.
Metal Sonic is also equipped with tons of tools and tricks specifically to overpower Sonic. He can fire a plasma pulse laser from his chest, construct a black shield which seems practically indestructible, and blast through obstacles by going V maximum overdrive.
Black Shield? Maximum Overdrive? You're sure he's not into metal? Because those sound like some killer band names to me.
To activate V maximum overdrive, Metal overloads his own circuits to quadruple his speed while simultaneously surrounding himself with a destructive energy field.
If all that wasn't enough, Metal Sonic can scan his opponents to copy their techniques. He copied the explosive Knuckles Slam from Knuckles, ESP from Silver, the Batguard technique from Rouge, and even copied Shadow the Hedgehog's signature Chaos Control.
He can only copy specific moves at a time, but whatever power he takes is not limited by his physical body. This is because Metal Sonic can actually morph and manipulate his form.
He totally stole that from T-1000.
Funny mentioning Terminator because you're not too far off. Metal Sonic is so powerful that he's overcome his own programming, overthrown his creator, and attempted a global takeover all on his own.
Not so good.
And he can do it too. He's shielded attacks from Shadow's deadly Chaos Spears and Silver's telekinetic ESP. He's dodged attacks from Knuckles, Amy, and Espio at the same time. And
competed in the Olympics.
Competed in the Olympics. You know how tough it is to qualify for that? Like, really tough. Plus, he gives Sonic a run for his money whenever they race.
Metal can match and sometimes even outpace Sonic's speed. Sonic's specific top speed is technically unknown. He boasts that he's faster than light, but he has yet to prove this in canon without the aid of additional equipment. Sonic's highest speed is officially described as hypersonic, and his best record comes from Sonic Unleashed, where he's recorded running up to 3,000 SPD. Assuming this translates to metric meters, given the game's Japanese development, this puts Sonic in the high end of the hypersonic spectrum, clocking his highest recorded speed at a whopping 6,711 miles per hour.
That's over 8 times the speed of sound. Damn, I wish I was that fast. Could have escaped my ex-wife way before things got serious.
This speed is likely what Dr. Eggman was
everyone jumping off a bridge?
designing Metal Sonic.
I have no idea.
Even then, with his abilities like V Maximum
And running with
Overdrive,
coffee?
Metal Sonic can increase his speed up to 26,844 miles per hour. That's Mach 35, more than enough to reach escape velocity.
And this bot has a lot of power behind him. In one of his battles with Sonic, their conflict caused enough damage to break off that ginormous stalactite over the city. Look at the size of that thing!
By comparing its size to the nearby buildings and assuming a granite-based composition, we can estimate that the stalactite weighs over 46 million tons. The energy required to cleave a rock that size could be as high as 200,000 tons of TNT, 10 times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki.
And if that's not powerful enough for you, Metal Sonic has a couple different super forms. There's a Red
Always
Titan
need a super
form,
form.
his Neo form, and best of all, Metal Overlord. Again with the band name. By copying the powers of Sonic and his friends, Metal transformed into this flying dragon-looking thingamajig. It can fire missiles, shoot gigantic chunks of crystal, trap opponents, and destroy everything.
Metal Overlord is so impressive, it took the combined might of Super Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to take him down.
Yeah, he may be metal as hell, but he's not indestructible. Despite being Sonic's superior in almost every way, he still loses fights to him more often than not.
Metal Sonic is extremely durable, but his internal systems are susceptible to overloading if pushed too far. For example, every time he uses his V Maximum Overdrive attack, he risks permanent damage. Also, even though he's mimicked multiple organic abilities, they're sort of simplified versions. He's never displayed any at their greatest potential.
Still, this is one of the deadliest machines we've ever seen. As long as Metal Sonic's
Ooh, that's a good
around,
mission.
even the fastest thing alive struggles to keep up.
All living things kneel before your master.
For decades, the robotic war between Dr. Light and Dr. Wily left destruction in its wake. No matter how many machines Wily created in his quest for world domination, Dr. Light's own Mega Man was always there to stop him. But like any successful genius, Dr. Wily was determined to have the final word, even if it came from beyond his grave.
Wily put all the smarts he could into creating the best robot he'd ever built. Its name was Zero.
Awesome hair.
Dr. Wily's plan to create the world's most powerful robot succeeded all too well. Designed for combat and violent by nature, Zero was primed to put Wily back on top.
Just one problem. Because of a glitch, Zero was totally disobedient to Dr. Wily and attacked him. I mean, I don't blame him. If that face was the first thing I saw when I woke up, I'd probably punch it too. Or send it
Fair.
back to the bar whence it came.
How sad, all that hard work wasted over a single programming flaw. Wily was forced to seal Zero away, and he wouldn't be discovered for another 100 years.
But a long nap wasn't enough to calm him down. When he woke up, he wasted everything around him until he was stopped by Commander Sigma, the leader of the peacekeeping Maverick Hunters.
Sigma may have stopped Zero, but then things got complicated. For some reason, Zero's stasis pod also contained a mysterious virus. The virus infected Sigma and, for some reason, swapped Sigma and Zero's morality alignments.
So Sigma turned evil and Zero turned good, just like Robot Freaky Friday. Being a good guy now, Zero joined the Maverick Hunters, making it his mission to eliminate any machine which posed a threat to the world. Because what else are you gonna do in Robot World but fight crime with a laser sword?
He's certainly well equipped for the job. The Z-Buster is Zero's go-to long-range weapon, with both rapid-fire and charged energy shots.
He's also got tons of deadly spears, hammers, and chains, but his favorite weapon is his trusty energy sword, the Z-Saber.
The Z-Saber is arguably Zero's most essential weapon. With it, he can cut other machines down to size with a wide variety of grounded and airborne strikes.
It's just a lightsaber.
Furthermore, he can enhance his blade by mimicking the power of his enemies. This lets him use the Z-Saber for attacks imbued with fire, ice, electricity, and even metal.
But he can copy more than just sword stuff. Zero can use the Twin Dream technique to create a clone which mimics his every move. He can summon robot dragonflies to fight alongside him, call down beams of energy from the sky with Koha, and even use Dark Hold to temporarily freeze time.
If necessary, Zero can activate Black Zero mode. This form halves his defense in order to double his attack power and quadruple his speed. He can also transform into the
defense is more
stronger
offense.
and faster Absolute Zero. Yes, that's what it's called. In this form, he loses access to his Z-Sword and acquired abilities, but he gains razor-sharp claws and the power of flight.
Check out those
that's
Batwings.
good trade-off.
You know, with all these cool powers, he's pulled off some crazy shit. He's defeated dozens of Mavericks and even Sigma himself multiple times.
Not to mention stopping dozens of other threats to the entire planet, such as when Eurasia, an enormous city floating in space, fell to Earth in a crash course
stand
similar to the
60,000 tons.
asteroid which annihilated the dinosaurs.
But that's okay. Zero took care of it. How? By flying a space shuttle right into it like a badass. And he survived. Suck that, Asteroid City.
Moreover, it's important to remember Zero was specifically built to be far superior to the original Mega Man. We've analyzed Mega Man before, and learned he could keep up with the speedy Quickman and catch a 60,000-ton castle.
So, Zero's better than that.
Zero is undoubtedly Dr. Wily's greatest creation, but like the mad scientist's other machines, he has his downfalls. Despite being a machine, Zero is susceptible to exhaustion, and if he receives too much damage, not even his auto repair systems can return him from the brink.
Also, he sometimes comes down with a bad case of edgy anime protagonist.
What am I fighting for?
And yet, Zero is a fearless guardian who won't rest until his world's safety is secured, even if he has to be reincarnated multiple times to do it.
And kick his own ass.
I don't even need my sword for such an easy fight.
Metal Sonic for 10.
Metal Sonic for 5.
Metal Sonic for 5. Okay. Why do you think Metal Sonic?
Loyalty.
Okay.
That's what it's coming down to. I have this thing in my head that it's going to come down to those 60,000 tons, and that Mega Man could take it because of that, which is why I only bet 5 instead of 10, because my first instinct was 10, but then I was like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to come down to the 60,000 tons. And
Yeah, what I couldn't remember, it was Metal Sonic's feat, was that 20,000 tons or was that 200,000 tons that he had?
I couldn't remember what Metal Sonic was either.
Okay.
I'm like, they're really hammering home the 60,000 tons. Like,
yeah.
you called it out in a thing that they'd written, and then like they brought it up again, like he caught a 60,000 ton castle, and so I was like, I feel like that's maybe where it's at. But I mean, it's Sonic. I can't bet against Sonic.
Yeah, and usually it goes swords for the win. So I would normally pick Zero, but I don't know. Just Metal Sonic's feats seem more impressive, and I feel like Sonic. I'm trying to think of like who they're paired of. I feel like Sonic is more powerful than Mega Man. I think we saw one where Sonic went toe to toe with Mario, and Mario's pretty strong. I think Mario ended up winning, but still, Sonic's pretty badass. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Metal Sonic in this one. Also, because he's metal. That's another reason.
It's another reason.
Ooh. He just looks more badass.
Found a Maverick. I'll take care of it. Just like a training program.
Just like a training program. You're not taking him seriously.
How did this happen?
Like I got that metal music.
Ooh.
Charge shot!
Uh-oh. On Zero, you're not even put up a fight.
But is he taking much damage? is the
Yeah.
question.
Crap!
No.
Chaos control.
This will be over in a nano.
Like, this is it.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, shit. I'm not even sure what happened.
KO.
And boom goes the
Pretty sure we
giant
lost.
flying robot monster.
Metal Sonic was a worthy adversary, but Zero was simply better equipped for this battle.
At Mach 35 speeds, Metal seemed like a shoo-in for better speed, right? On paper, maybe. But remember, Mega Man beat Quickman, and Zero was built to surpass Mega Man in every way.
Quickman's top speed was recorded at 224,000 miles per hour, over 8 times faster than Metal Sonic.
Shit.
Scaled to the inferior Mega Man, Zero could certainly handle a machine of Metal Sonic's speed.
Zero's vast arsenal also gave him plenty of options for just about every situation, even when Metal tried screwing with time.
Unlike Metal, Zero actually possessed multiple methods of stopping time, which were more instantaneous and just as effective as Metal Sonic's imperfectly copied Chaos Control.
So Zero definitely had the advantage in that field.
The durability difference was pretty clear too. Zero's feat with the Eurasia Space Colony trumps anything Metal's ever endured. The resulting explosion was similar to the asteroid impact which killed the dinosaurs, an event estimated to have equaled 100 trillion tons of TNT.
But even surviving a tiny fraction of that explosion was far more impressive than the 200 kilotons of TNT needed to break that giant rock. And that was from Metal Sonic and Real Sonic's power combined.
Even ramming Zero at full speed would not have done much. Moving at Mach 35,
Besides, he's not doing much damage.
276-pound body would only hit with enough force to destroy a building. To be blunt, not only was Metal Sonic outmatched in speed and durability, but he didn't have the means to truly kill Zero. Whereas Zero's shown time and time again that he could destroy enemies just as tough and bulky as Metal Overlord.
Looks like Metal Sonic was the real Zero in this fight.
The winner is Zero.
All right, well, both wrong on that one. But yeah, you still gain because I bet more. So
Take my wins where I can get them.
yeah, exactly. So it's 210 to 275. Underestimated Zero. I mean, I wasn't going to be surprised if he had won, just because didn't know enough about these characters. But man, I really wanted Metal Sonic to win.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on the one hand, this makes me a little bit more curious to check out Mega Man, just because our knowledge of Sonic is that he is so impressive. And granted, I didn't know much about Metal Sonic, but like,
Yeah.
the very nature of him being an extension of Sonic in some form makes me just, I think, instantaneously make assumptions about his ability. I did think that it was maybe going to come down to those 60,000 tons and like that Mega Man, or I should say Zero, might have an advantage, but I didn't quite expect him to have such an advantage.
Yeah.
So that was a bit surprising.
Yeah, especially that he was faster than the Metal Sonic. You thought, I mean, that's the one thing that Sonic's gonna have over him is the speed, but guess not.
Well, also the thing that like the speed at which Sonic was hitting him and the weight of Sonic was such that it would destroy a building, but just like that was nothing to Zero, like in terms of the actual damage that Sonic needed to create. Apparently damaging and leveling a building wouldn't be enough to damage Zero.
Yeah, and then I didn't know the would probably have been helpful to see the Mega Man versus Astro Boy one that was before. We bounce around, we don't go in order. Because to see the Mega Man and how he's faster than Quickman, I'm like, well, just because you can beat somebody doesn't mean that like you are faster than them unless like they did a race or something like that. I mean, if Spider-Man beats up Quicksilver or whatever, or Batman beats up like the Flash, it doesn't mean that Batman is faster than the Flash. it just means that, like, you know, during that matchup or whatever, he just was able to get the best of him during using something. But it's been a while since I've even played Mega Man, so I can't remember how that fight went. So we're gonna have to check out some more Mega Man. I think that's what this is a sign of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want early ad-free access to our reactions, we have a link to Patreon down below in the description of this video. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Metal Sonic vs. Zero Death Battle, but just keep in mind
That our reaction is definitely not definitive.